In all seriousness, this is a guy that you'll be finding in the Death Valley because of his no-name name. And it is also going to be where I'm throwing this guy after I'm done with this review. What is going on, guys? It's H105 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Gundam Astray no name from the one episode in Gundam Build Divers. Now, there is no telling whether this guy would appear or not in the upcoming episodes, but as of this recording, this guy has only appeared in one episode. And first of all, the looks. The looks look really good, in my opinion, because, well, the silhouette looks edgy. When you look closer to it, it's edgy. And when I was just setting up right now, I realized that this guy has some sort of Gundam Gremory kind of look because of the eyes just peeking out of the two horns over here. And right off the bat, you can see some problems right here. The side skirts fall off, the horn in the back just falls off. This thing has no reason to be here whatsoever because it's not that noticeable. It's just a subtle thing that there's something just poking out of here, just like a beam saber. So I would recommend you take this off. But if you are a purist and you want to display it standing up right here, you don't want to have this lying around in your shelf somewhere or something, or in the Ziploc, glue this on permanently, please. So, yep. And also, I have to bash this guy once again for this colorization, because in the line art, and even in the frickin' instructions, it may not appear gray in the poor lighting that I have here, but in the instructions, the mantle is gray. Now, I know there is a gray variant coming out in the future, but the gray pieces are also applied to wherever there is brown on the body. Although the chocolate brown may be used in some places in the body, I'm not so sure. Because in the line art, it also has the mantle covering up the chest, so it's hard to say for sure, but I fully bet that every single piece that is brown on here should be gray or even black. So if even I buy the gray mantle over here, the no-name unit, it's not gonna help, because if I need to buy another no-name unit just to have this little bit of gray and not have the rest of the body anime accurate, I would just rather buy a paint can and just spray this thing all over, because the entire thing is not anime accurate whatsoever. Even in the early images of the prototype of the no-name is in gray. But enough bashing the colors for now. The build itself, well, it's quite different from the Astrays because it doesn't have most of the details of the frame. Well, the normal frame is still here because some of the parts are reusing the plates from the normal Astray red frame, or basically all the Astrays in general, but you do not need to use a single bit of it here. So it makes the build here completely unique, which makes of a unique building experience. So let's talk about the stickers. So we have separate eyes, which I cannot really move the head right now. This is one of the problems I'll address later. So we have separate eyes inside. I think I did a pretty good job. You have metallic blue on the circles on the mantle. You have gold for the trim on both arms, in fact, which this one is covered up by the mantle again. You have metallic blue sticker for the scope of the no-name rifle. And then you have gold trim on this leg. And then you have gold trim on both thighs. One of it is covered up right now. And you have a blue sticker over here, which is covered up on this leg by this piece of white armor. And then you also have the white ones on the mantle over here. One here and one here, which look alright, but it just looks disgusting with how it is separated over here. So I would recommend painting, honestly. So while the stickers are not that vast, it still brings out most of the detail of this guy. Anyways, I'm only bashing this guy for the colors on the visuals. More problems are to arise later on. So for the articulation of this guy, is basically the same as the red frame, I believe. So the head is on a double ball joint, but you have to be careful. First of all, because the V-fin, the red V-fin over here, is very, very loose. So if you have a wrong point of grip, it would just basically fall off. Glue it on. And then with that out of the way, the head is basically on your ball joint over here, but you need to be very careful of these horns over here, no matter which position they are placed, because if they're turned towards the back, you're going to be gripping spikes if you did not cut off the child safety pegs, which I did because it would look disgusting if not. So, and then it would collide to absolutely everything when you rotate it. So your only option is to look forward or just to look slanted to the side like this. But there isn't really like much movement. Although, I have to be honest, you would not have your Gundam looking toward the back. Except for if you're using the Victory Gundam, because it did that in the anime show. And then the arm over here is on your just typical Astray connection. So it's just the same as the Astray, plugged in here, forward and back, up and down for the polycap. Pegged arms, which are great because they would not fall off as easily as the ball joints. The shoulder armors is completely independent, which allows the arm to move out that far. Rotation at above the elbow, bend at the elbow at one joint, and since this is a different frame, it can only bend on one joint and even a bit less than 90. I don't know who to blame in this situation. And then the wrist is just your standard ball jointed wrist. I cannot show you the articulation of this arm unfortunately for now because it is covered up, so there is next to none over here. And then the waist can rotate a little bit. I cannot find the correct grip. Although if you move these pieces out of the way, you may be just able to grip right here at the crotch and behind the right thigh and just move it a little bit. But then, yeah, that dislodges the side skirts because they're just plugged onto the side using this crappy polycap, which the problem persists in all the Astrays that released prior to this guy, so it is really just a common complaint. Front skirts are molded together, but the instructions tell you to separate them, and they stay on pretty well. So the legs can go forward and back separate from the waist, and they can do a little bit of the funky dance if everything doesn't get in the way. The legs can go forwards, backwards, outwards, pretty far. A double jointed knee, which is the same on both legs, a little bit more than 90, which is thanks to this piece over here just absolutely hindering the articulation of the legs. And then the feet can go forwards and back, side to side, rotate, and it is the same on both legs because this is just over the basic frame. So all in all, articulation in this form is not amazing, and collisions can occur, especially with the head in this peculiar shape. You're really not gonna get anything out of this guy in this form without taking any risks and everything falling apart. For the accessories, let's start with the basics. You have a beam saber, which is called the Gauntlet Saber, which is basically the right hand. So this is the Gundam X's beam, not the Double X, which has the 3D effect, which, well, looks pretty cool. And then you just move these parts out of the way, get this visible. And yeah, this piece in the shoulder falls off more often than not. Since I'm going to be displaying him like this, it isn't going to matter anyways because this part is actually going to be covered up by the mantle. So just leave it off or glue it on. It doesn't really matter. So here is a slit over here. So you just basically peg this thing on. And there you have it, the Gauntlet Saber. And talking about beam sabers, nope, this guy does not come with the handheld one, which is absolutely disappointing. And then let's just continue to talk about the elephant in the room, the no name unit. So this is its D-extension form. So first of all, we are going to transform it into the B-SMARTGUN form. So we should remove absolutely everything from the base joints over here. We need to be careful because the head is just right in the way, especially when you're taking off this entire part, because this may collide with the gigantic horns in the front of the face. So yep, there we go. And then the V-fin just fell off because of whatever reason. I didn't even touch the V-fin. And then we should remove this part over here, which allows me to demonstrate the articulation of the right arm. So yep, same connections as the left. This can flap up, rotation, bend at the elbow, less than 90, and nothing, because this guy is just holding a gun and then it's glued to his hand. So anyways, let's just bring out this piece over here, peg it on like so. And I actually have the instructions right beside me because I cannot even memorize how to do this. It's no fault to the kit, by the way, it's just my poor memory just hindering what I can remember. So you plug this piece upside down, the spike facing up, into the top peg. So you just peg it on like so. And then the kit can go off to the side by for now. And here, take this off. Take 2 bits off and leave it off for now, and then take the top piece off. I just clip my nail so it's kind of hard and flip it upside down, and then look at it in this angle and then plug these back on. And then look at this angle and then just basically flip these. Just collapse these like this. And then let's go to the A units over here. Just unfold these and align them in the same direction. Flip up the scope. And then you're ready to bring back the no name. So here, this thing goes into the lowest peg. And this thing with the spikes facing up going on to the middle peg. So here we have the no name rifle, or the B-SMARTGUN form. So honestly, this form looks absolutely amazing, I cannot deny. Looks like it has a mantis from Warframe attached onto his shoulder. So yep, this is just basically the high power cannon that it has. It's not the first time we ever see a high powered hand free cannon, but one that is made out of the entire mantle. Well, one selling point over here. And nope, this guy does not come with a claw once again, but I did find a way to kind of forcefully make the claw. So let me just take absolutely everything off because we're gonna need it. And then basically take this piece off, flip the joint up, repeg it in the other direction over here, which I cannot do properly. Do that for the other. And make sure the double joints are vertically like flush together. And bend it however you want. Now what you want to do is to clip the joints over here into the indents over here. So like so. And to prevent it from bouncing off, this edge over here would give it some help. So here's the top part of the claw. For the bottom part, I wasn't able to get rid of the outward extension for this piece, so it's what I have to stick with. So I basically need to remove these pieces and swap them around. And there you have it. Now what you're supposed to do, according to my engineering, is just basically slot this on. And now you have what looks to be the no name claw. And of course, yep, it just pops off because it is just reverse engineering. It's nothing they gave us. So if you really want the claw, do this and then just glue the pieces on, probably using super glue, nothing permanent, so as to like ease yourself of the trouble when you want to change its forms suddenly. So this is how I made the claw and made my photos, because yep, I just really can't live without the claw of no name. It's one of the features that really made me really want this kit. And yet Bandai somehow failed to implement this thing. Like, at least give us an extension to plug into the slot and then just peg these pieces on, because even though it will look disgusting from when you're looking into the cannon, it would just look awesome with the cannon just in a silhouette, just threatening, being an edgelord and stuff. But somehow they didn't manage to implement this. So yep, that's disappointing. And finally, we are ready to activate the nitro system. So what you want to do is take off the head, just to avoid anything going wrong, take off the horns on the side. It may be a bit hard for you to do when you first finish building it, and put them on backwards. And then what you want to do is to remove the horn that is in the back, remove the spike or whatever it's called, and then remove this little piece up here, and then get this spike piece over here. So first you need to attach this piece like this, and then you attach the spike piece like this. Just remember, when you're starting, there should be a window over here, so that's your indication. And then if you're doing it from the gun mode, basically reattach these pieces onto the upper peg and extend them outwards, probably like so. And then for this unit, you have them pointed directly towards the side and split them apart. So now you can attach this like so, and this into here, and then just reattach the entire backpack onto the plug over here. And this, for the record, yep, it holds perfectly, unlike this pathetic thing over here. So this is the nitro system activated, and I actually have to say, this absolutely looks awesome. Too bad it is in this brown, but if it is in gray, it will look a lot more cool. It will look a lot more menacing because of the dark contrast between the white armor that is shown out here. And it just furthermore shows the asymmetrical design of the entire Gundam. So just all in all, this is how it looks like. And yes, you can take these off to function as the Spike Dragoons, just by taking them off of their poles. And last but not least, this guy does come with the open hand. For leftover parts, aside from the extra polycaps from the polycap sheet, you have a bit of the frame from the original red frame, and you have more of it over here. And then you have some extra hand covers just in case you lost them. And no, these are not compatible with the left hand variants, just because this is like a custom plate for the Astray no name, and the hand covers are going to be made for the left hand. So there's a disappointment for you guys. So that is it for the accessories of the Astray no name. For comparisons, I have the gold frame of Matsumina still lying around, so here you have it. And I got to give the props to the gold frame because it looks edgy, and yet it has everything to execute that edge, while the Astray no name has a lot of lacking things, and the colors in it are inaccurate. And somebody in comments have asked me to compare this guy to the Wound Ward, so yep, here you have it. And yes, the Wound Ward can't stand. It is a space type mobile suit, so yep, can't blame him for that. And that particular person just said, probably I can use the Wound Ward's mechanics to probably customize my own claw for the no name. I think I may try that, but for now I'll stick to my engineering. So that is it for the Astray no name. So if you're looking for a totally anime accurate guy, I would absolutely tell you to pass on this kit, because this kit is not worth your money if you're looking for the claw or just basically anime accuracy in general. Plus the loose part problem is pretty obvious on here, because I lost the V-fin right now. Not literally lost it, it's just right beside my light. I didn't bother to put it back on. I have lost the V-fin, I have lost the back skirt. You don't actually need the spike, because if you're displaying it in the nitro system form, you just have to remove this thing anyway. And because it is so loose and it just adds such a minute detail onto it, if you're looking at it from the front, you can't tell the difference whether it's there or not. So, the loose parts department is one of the problems. The anime accuracy is a problem because, first of all, you do not have the claw. Second of all, you do not have the beam saber that is handheld. And third of all, everything that is brown over here should be gray. And yep, overall, this is one of my most hyped kits, aside from the Zero Maru for August, and yet it turned out to be such a disappointment. So for me, just take it as I'm taking the brunt for you guys, but this is a definite just leave for me. Like, I'm speaking at the bottom of my heart, this is a definite leave for me. So yep, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla reviews, Gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page to support them if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.